Google just turned the 2026 World Cup into a giant AI experiment, and the shocking part, millions of fans are giving their face to a machine learning model just to walk into stadiums. Picture this, you arrive at Estadio Azteca on opening day, June 11th, ready for Mexico versus South Africa. No ticket, no ID, just your face. Gemini's biometric recognition system scans you, matches it to your ticket data, and you're in. Fast, seamless, frictionless. But here's the thing nobody's really talking about, that facial scan isn't just a convenience feature. It's one of the largest real-time face recognition databases ever assembled at a sporting event. 5 million attendees across 104 matches. 5 million unique faces fed into Google's AI systems. That's not speculation, that's official. And while the headlines have focused on the fun stuff, AI-generated match photos, lock screen scores, personalized match briefings, the quieter, more important story is what Google's actually doing with all that biometric data. This isn't just about watching football smarter. It's about understanding how a tech giant with unchecked access to facial recognition at a global event reshapes what privacy looks like in 2026. And spoiler alert, it doesn't look like what most fans think it does. Let's dig in. To understand how we got here, rewind to about 6 months ago. Google's been pushing hard to embed Gemini into every corner of how we live, from smartphones to search to smart home devices. So when FIFA came looking for technology partners for the first three-nation World Cup in history, Google saw the opportunity of a lifetime, not just to sponsor the tournament, but to showcase what Gemini can do at unprecedented scale. The scope is massive, 48 teams. Across 16 stadiums in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, over 104 matches, 5 million ticketed attendees expected. This is the biggest global sporting event, and Google had already secured 2 major partnerships. Argentina's national team as the defending World Cup champions. You'll see Google branding on their training kits, and France's squad as well. But beyond the team sponsorships, Google went deeper. They embedded Gemini not just as a feature, but as the backbone of the entire fan experience. That meant building out new technology from the ground up, lock screen integration, AI-powered photo templates, real-time match intelligence hubs, and yes, facial recognition at entry gates. For Google, the World Cup isn't a sponsorship. It's a live test of what AI-first sports looks like. It's a chance to prove that their technology can handle the complexity of a global event while learning from millions of real-world interactions at once. So what exactly did Google build for fans? Start with the simplest feature. During live matches, if you unlock your phone, your lock screen automatically shows live scores, match stats, and standings for your favorite teams. No app needed, no manual refresh. You just look at your phone and Gemini's already pulled in the data. But it goes way deeper than that. Ask Gemini about any match during the World Cup, and instead of a text response, it generates a visual match hub, live scores, highlight clips, team standings, player stats, all presented with images and video rather than boring text blocks. Imagine typing "Tell me about Argentina versus France" and getting back a gorgeous interactive visual experience with clips, photos, and breakdowns. That's what this does. Then there's the AI-generated photo templates. Fans can take a selfie or existing photo and place themselves digitally into their team's jersey. Imagine standing in front of a virtual Estadio Azteca in Argentina's kit. That content is then shareable, perfect for social media. For fans who want more, those with paid Gemini tiers, there's scheduled actions. Set it once, and every morning during the World Cup, Gemini automatically sends you a briefing about your favorite team's matches. No prompt needed. It just arrives. And here's something most people missed. Google made their AI Mode Pro visual tools free during the tournament. Those normally require a paid subscription, but during the World Cup, they're available to everyone. These generate AI-created match imagery and analysis overlays in real time. Let's walk through what this actually feels like in practice. You're a fan in Mexico City during the opening match on June 11th. You arrive at Estadio Azteca. Instead of standing in a ticket line with thousands of others, you walk up to a biometric entry gate. The camera scans your face. Gemini's system matches it to your ticket database. 5 seconds later, you're through. Already inside, you pull out your phone during halftime. Your lock screen is showing you the current score, shots on goal, possession percentage, all updated live. You're curious about a specific player's performance this season. You ask Gemini, and instead of reading text, you get a visual hub with clips of their best goals, their stats this tournament, how they compare to peers. At full time, you snap a selfie with your team's flag. 20 seconds later, you're viewing yourself in a digital version of the team's matchday kit. Standing virtually in the stadium, you post it. Meanwhile, tomorrow morning, without doing anything, Gemini's already sending you a match briefing for your favorite team's next game, scheduled automatically. By Wednesday, you've experienced Gemini 5 or 6 different ways, and you've generated data points from every interaction. That's the vision Google's executing at scale across 5 million people. Now compare this to a World Cup fan's experience even 4 years ago in Qatar 2022. Back then, you showed up with a printed or digital ticket. You got in. You watched the match on a big screen, maybe checked the official app for stats, and that was it. The AI component was minimal. Highlights came hours later. Analysis happened in the broadcast booth, not in your hands. You were passive. You consumed. Today, you're active, generating content. Interacting with AI, getting personalized experiences in real time. Gemini is literally watching what you ask, what you search, what match stats interest you, what photos you create. Every interaction trains the AI system. Every scan teaches facial recognition to be more accurate. Every question about a player feeds into models that predict what other fans will want to know next. This is the change from AI as a feature to AI as the entire infrastructure of the experience. In 2022, the World Cup happened on screens. In 2026, the World Cup is an AI-powered data-gathering operation that just happens to involve football. For broadcasters and sponsors, this is revolutionary. They're no longer guessing what fans want. They're watching it in real time and adapting instantly. For fans, it feels amazing, personalized, intelligent, frictionless, but that ease has a hidden cost, and it's the cost of having given a trillion-dollar company detailed biometric data and behavioral patterns from half a global sporting event's attendees. This is where the story gets serious. Facial recognition at scale, especially at a global event, raises massive privacy questions that most coverage has glossed over. Think about what's happening. FIFA and Google are assembling a biometric database of 5 million people at World Cup stadiums. That's not just casual data. That's identifying faces tied to your physical location on a specific date and time. Your ticket purchase, which reveals your financial info and home address, your team preference and loyalty, your device data from interacting with Gemini during the matches, and potentially your travel patterns if you attended multiple matches. The Next Web called this the quieter tech story of the tournament, and they are right. Because when you combine facial data with behavioral data, what you searched, what you clicked, what photos you created, you get a profile that's far more detailed than most people realize they're giving away. Google says this is for convenience and security. No tickets to lose, no counterfeits, faster entry, all true, but facial recognition data is incredibly sensitive. Once collected, it's nearly impossible to delete. It can be sold, hacked, misused, or repurposed in ways nobody's predicted yet. And here's the part that keeps privacy researchers up at night. 5 million faces in a database means Google now has the ability to recognize and track these same people in other contexts, walking into stores, attending other events, moving through cities. The hospitality is real. The convenience is real. But the cost is permanently surrendering your biometric identity to one of the world's largest corporations. So how do you actually access these Gemini features if you're at the World Cup? Here's what the average fan needs to do. First, make sure you're running the latest version of Google Gemini on your Android or iOS device. Open it. You don't need any special setup. Gemini's World Cup features are automatically activated during the tournament. If you want the basic stuff, lock screen scores and real-time match stats, you're already getting that just by having the app installed. Ask Gemini about any match, any team, any player, and you'll get the visual hub. That's free for everyone. If you want scheduled actions, the automated daily briefings, you'll need a paid Gemini tier. That's usually around $20 a month, depending on your region. You'll find it in the Gemini settings under Scheduled Briefings or World Cup Assistant. Toggle it on, pick your favorite teams, and each morning you'll get a summary without prompting. For the AI photo templates, you'll want to find the World Cup section in Gemini's main menu. There's a button that says Create Match Day Photo or similar. Take a selfie or upload an existing photo, let Gemini process it, and it'll drop you into a virtual stadium in your team's kit. That's also free. The facial recognition, that's automatic at the gates, nothing to set up. Just show your face when you enter, and that's it. You're fully plugged into Google's World Cup AI ecosystem. Simple on the surface, profound underneath. Here's what this all means. We're at an inflection point where AI isn't just a tool brands use to improve products. It's becoming the primary infrastructure for how we experience the world's largest events. Google didn't sponsor the World Cup to sell phones or get clicks. They did it to prove that AI-first experiences are the future, and the evidence is compelling. Fans love this. Personalized, intelligent, seamless. But the cost is that we are collectively agreeing to let a tech giant with massive resources build and own the biometric and behavioral data from a global event. That data doesn't disappear after the tournament ends. It stays in Google's systems indefinitely, trains their models, and informs how they build future products. It gives them a template for doing the exact same thing at the Olympics, at major music festivals, at concerts, at airports. This is a blueprint for what happens when the world's largest corporations have access to our faces, our locations, and our behavior at scale. The next few years will determine whether the industry pushes for real privacy safeguards or whether convenience and profit win out. Because if you're willing to give your face to Gemini for faster stadium entry, what else are you willing to trade? And once you've given it, can you ever really get it back? Keep an eye on where facial recognition starts appearing in everyday life. It's moving faster than regulation can keep up. Follow for daily AI news.